Hello everyone, welcome to AP Biology discussion. My name is Helen and this video is brought to you by Vertex Tutors. For today, we'll be taking a look at the 2014 AP Biology FRQ question number 3. Before we start, please make sure to like and subscribe for more AP review videos and discussions in the future. For today's video, I'll be writing down one full example of an answer for each question, and also I'll be verbally giving many other possible answers to each question. So question 3 of the 2014 FRQ states, as part of a new suburban development, a sports complex consisting of athletic fields and buildings is constructed in a formerly wooded area. Looking at part A, it says, predict one ecological consequence on the local plant community that is likely to result during the site preparation and construction of the sports complex. Justify your prediction. So looking at this part, we first need to identify how many points this question is worth. If we look for some keywords in the question, we can see that there are two things that we need to do in order to answer this question fully, which is to number 1, predict, and number 2, justify. So full credit will only be given if both parts of the question are completed. So if we take a look at some answers, the first and most obvious prediction to this question would be that the plant community will be destroyed, leading to plant death and the loss of the plant community in that area. There are a few possible justifications for this problem. Firstly, the removal of trees, grass, shrubs, and others will quickly lead to the loss of the plant community. And secondly, there can be a change in habitat. So for example, if there was a lot of sunlight shining into one area where the plant community thrived in, the construction of the sports complex could lead to the loss of sunlight, resulting in less sunlight available than before for the plants to live on. Another available prediction would be that there's a decrease in biodiversity. The justification of this can be that there's a removal of trees, shrubs, grass, and more in that particular area, leading to the decrease in the amount of different species of plants occupying the area. Another example of a justification for this prediction could be that the pollution from the preparation and construction of the sports complex can lead to the deaths of certain species of plants. And although there are more available predictions, let's look at one more together. So a prediction could also be a positive one, such as that there is an increase of sun-tolerant species living in this area. Because not all plants have the same amount of sun tolerance, some species may die off if there is more sunlight, while other species may live in better conditions under more sunlight. So more sunlight can be given through the removal of local tall, shading trees that may have been blocking off much sunlight from that area. Moreover, some other correct predictions can be that there will be a decreased genetic diversity, habitat loss, and the introduction or immigration of new plant species. So taking a look at the examples I just provided, we can look at this bulleted list and see that I provided a few different examples, and we can pick one and provide a justification for that for the official answer. So for example, for part A, we can pick this one, which is the plant community will be destroyed. So if we take a look at that one, this is how we would write the answer to part A. So one ecological consequence on the local plant community that is likely to result during the site preparation and construction of the sports complex is that the plant community will be destroyed. Now, if we leave our answer as this, then we would only get half credit because all we did was provide a prediction without a justification. So now what's left to do is justify this answer. So I provided you with a few different justifications, but for this one, we can use the first example I provided, which was that the removal of trees, grass, shrubs, and others will lead to the plant community being destroyed. So we can write, this is due to the removal of trees, grass, shrubs, and others that will lead to the destruction of the plant community. So of course you can add on more to your answer, but what I have now would be basically all you need to write for part A to get full credit for this question. Okay, so moving on to part B. Part B states, To maintain the playing fields, large quantities of water and chemicals are applied regularly to the grass-covered areas. Predict one effect on the local animal community that might result from regular use and maintenance of the playing fields. So part A asked about the plant community and part B asks about the animal community. So again, we need to figure out how many points this problem is worth. Looking for some keywords, we can find the words predict and justify again, so we can safely assume that this problem will be worth 2 points. So the first possible prediction could be that animals will either be harmed or die. This is due to exposure to toxic chemicals, due to the regular use and maintenance of man-made playing fields, and also due to possible contamination of groundwater that the animals drink or the food that animals consume. So those were 3 different justifications available for this one prediction. The second possible prediction is emigration displacement. Remember that emigration means that animals are leaving the area as opposed to immigration, where animals would come into the area to live. So we can see emigration displacement due to a few different reasons. It could be due to the loss of habitat and food or the exposure to toxic chemicals from construction. So these reasons could lead animals to migrate outside of that certain area to look for a better region where those necessities are more easily accessible to them. And also remember that these predictions can be positive. For example, immigration of new animal species can be seen, which is a positive. While some species live better far away from civilization and human contact, other species live better in more modern habitats. So the use and maintenance of playing fields can therefore lead to formations of new habitats for animal species to live in. Some other correct possible predictions to this question can be that there may be mutations due to chemical exposure and effect on DNA, and there may be less potable or drinking water available for animals due to the removal of water from wells and other sources, and also due to possible contamination of water with chemicals. While one prediction can claim that there will be improved conditions for animals due to increased food sources, another may claim that there will be a loss of native animal biodiversity due to the loss of plants on which the animals depend on. So if we write a bulleted list for part B also, we can see a few different examples that we can use here. So if we write a bulleted list, so these are the examples that I provided through what I just read. And so if we just pick one of these and give a justification, that would be a correct answer for B. So let's just say we pick emigration displacement for this one. So we can write one effect on the local animal community that might result from regular use and maintenance of the playing fields could be that, and then we can say emigration displacement will be seen. And then again, if we just leave this here, this would be only half of the answer since we need to provide a justification. So there's a few different justifications we can provide for this. I'll just use the first example I used about the loss of habitat and food, but you can also use other justifications such as like exposure to toxic chemicals from construction. So this is due to the loss of habitat and food in certain areas where man-made playing fields are used and maintained. So this was just an example of an answer that you could provide for B. And this sums up the 2 parts given in question 3 of the 2014 AP Biology FRQ. And I hope this video has provided some help to study for the upcoming AP test.